welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. Comic-Con came and went, and we're here to talk about most and all the announcements they had, at least the important ones, right? There were a couple of things that I'm like, oh, I could care less. But we have quite a few topics to discuss. We're going to go over Dungeons & Dragons trailer, Lord of the Rings trailer, the DC panel, Wakanda Forever trailer, because there's a bit of... controversy with that, She-Hulk, and a little bit of Daredevil. And then to top it all off, we're going to talk about MCU Phase 4, 5, and 6, and we'll kind of just go from there. But just to get started and get to, and get your guys' thoughts on it, the Dungeons and Dragons trailer, what did you guys think? I know... John, you've played D&D with us before. Yeah. Daniel, I don't think you've had the opportunity to. And there was an old school Dungeons and Dragons movie with Marlon Wayans, which was trash. So we'll kind of forget all that. But the latest trailers, any thoughts on that?
I think it looks like a lot of fun, man. I've been waiting for a good movie to come out, like a popcorn flick. It looks like a good time. Definitely excited. I'm a fan of Chris Pine, right? He's a good actor. I like him a lot. And I forgot who else. There was a couple other actors that caught my eye, and I was like, oh, it's kind of found it interesting that they're coming out in this type of movie, but it looks awesome. I'm excited for it.
What's her name? Michelle Rodriguez from the Fast and Furious movies. She's in it. That young kid that came out in what was that movie? Pokemon Detective.
Oh yeah. He came out didn't come out in Jurassic Park?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he came out a lot.
Yeah. He came out in one of the Jurassic Worlds. But yo, let me ask you, seeing all those dragons and all those creatures, did it look like it's something that excited you guys?
Yes. Yeah. For the short answer, yeah. I'm always down for some more lore movies like that. Like you said, we played Dungeons and Dragons before, and I'm excited what kind of route they take with it. Like we spoke before the movie, before we started recording, but it'd be cool if they take an approach kind of like Jumanji, where the characters, it's a surprise twist where they're actually playing the board game, but we're just seeing what they're imagining, or something like that. But
yeah, that'd be awesome, man. If they do something like that, where it's actually some young kids or teens playing the board game.
Nah, man, just make the adults. Just have Chris Pine playing the board game with his boys. They're all drinking, playing the game, and they're like, wow.
That would be cool.
That would still work because so many people are playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like it's had what do you call it? Like it's have a sort of rejuvenated lately, especially after the pandemic, where more people were indoors and having to stay home. Like more and more people started playing it. So that really is definitely going to boost the popularity of this movie coming out.
Well, even Stranger Things. Dungeons and Dragons is a huge thing in Stranger Things, so that brought it back to light as well.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much all the main villains and monsters were named after creatures from Dungeons and Dragons. So all I'm saying is we need to get a cameo from Joe Maglianero, because he's a huge D&D player. Like he even created his own characters with Wizards of the Coast, and like his character is actually part of the D&D lore, so it only makes sense that we get to see him. Hell, man, I want to see Vin Diesel too, because he a closet D&D player. I don't want to hear it. I've seen him play D&D,
and he's playing a tree-like character.
Yeah, I have to say the movie did come across as having a lot of humor to it. It did feel like one of those old school 1980s high adventure fun movies, which I'm looking forward to. It kind of gave me that feel of Princess Bride, and it would be cool because in Princess Bride, the grandfather is telling his grandson the story, but as we're watching the movie, we're seeing the characters from the book, and that's what the movie's playing out. So they can do something similar to that in this movie, where again, like you said, they're playing D&D, but we're just seeing the characters play out in the movie. So,
like you mentioned earlier, Joe Maglianero. I'm sorry if I butchered it.
Maglianero, yeah.
Dude, I would love for him just to come out and give him like a legit character.
Yeah.
I felt like the trailer was relatively short and they didn't show a lot, which is a good thing. I hope like they give other trailers that show just a little bit more, but not give away too much of the story. Because I felt like from watching that first trailer, it looked like, hey, might be something really cool to watch,
Yeah. What I would highly recommend for you guys to watch is Critical Role's Vox Machina on Amazon Prime. It's Critical Role is these group of people who play D&D like religiously, and they got really popular because they started playing D&D sessions on YouTube, and they came out with their own books, with their own comics, their own toy line. Now they have a show on Amazon Prime. The only thing is not kid friendly, is very adultish. There's a lot of adult jokes and profanity, but it still captures that feel of Dungeons and Dragons, but and really fun. So if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. I think it's a really cool animated show, and again, if you like D&D, it'll kind of give you a little bit of that flavor, a little taste to what potentially can be coming out in the movie. So,
and that movie's far from coming out too. Isn't it for next year?
Oh, is it?
I think it's 2023.
Damn,
if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
But that's
yeah, I'll need to look into that.
I'm pretty sure I noticed that it's like not even till next year, and and I found that interesting because I'm like, wow, there are a lot of movies don't get promoted so far in advance anymore like that. Like movies get promoted and it's coming out like within the next 2-3 months tops.
Yeah.
So I think that one's next year, and I thought that was interesting. I'm like, I wonder how much post-production they're doing with this, or why they're holding on to it for so long.
Oh, I'm sure it has to be a lot, man. Like just from this trailer alone, you can see how heavy the special effects are, especially the CGI. There's a ton of CGI, and it looks good. Like the trailer looked pretty good. All the visuals look awesome, but there's probably a lot that they gotta finish up and wrap up before the movie comes out. Especially if they're gonna have so many dragons, because I want to say there were about 3 or 4 different types of dragons they showed in this one trailer, and I'm sure we're not going to see them that prominently. There's probably going to be like quick little scenes here and there, but I still thought it was really cool to be able to see the different types of dragons. There was a black dragon spitting acid. There was another big old fat dragon that they were trying to escape. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was even a white dragon. So man, just bring it on. And they even had that character, I think it was a tiefling who transformed into an owl bear, and she started attacking some enemies, and then she kind of turned back to her regular self and rode off on a horse or something. And that looked legit to me, man. When I saw the owl bear, I was like, oh my god, that's awesome, man. That was like straight out of the books. So I'm down for it. I'll be there. I'll be watching that movie. I'll definitely be watching.
We will be there, sir.
We will be there watching. All right, for our next topic, let's talk about the next fantasy film. Actually, not a fantasy film, it's a fantasy series, Lord